If you smoke and you see cigarettes packaged like this, there's a good chance you're dealing with contraband cigarettes. As we welcome Gary Grant, Michelle Rouillard, both of the National Coalition Against Contraband Tobacco, both of you with more than 30 years experience in law enforcement. Welcome to BT.
Thank you.
When we're talking about contraband cigarettes, what do we mean by contraband? What are we talking about here?
Contraband is any cigarette that doesn't comply with the government regulations for the sale and manufacture of cigarettes, whether it's basically the taxes aren't paid, the markings aren't proper, it's not regulated, it wasn't inspected, the manufacturing wasn't inspected. So anything that doesn't comply with government regulations, the smoking industry is highly regulated, and none of these cigarettes meet that standard.
Now, this might seem like an ignorant or silly question, but why does this matter? Why do contraband cigarettes pose such a problem for the Canadian public?
Well, first of all, they sell cigarettes to anybody. You know, they don't ask you if you are 18 years old, 20 years old. They don't mind about it, so they sell it to the youth. So that's one of the fact. Other fact is that they take this money to because it's 175 criminal group or designations who makes money with contraband tobacco, and they take this money to make smuggling of human smuggling and traffic of arms and drugs and all those things also. So it's when you buy those cigarettes, you're helping the criminal group to make money, you see.
And the reason we're trying to reach out to the public here in Edmonton is that a lot of people think it's a victimless crime or unaware of it. They think the regulations prevent their kids from being able to buy cigarettes, but the criminals will sell cigarettes at someone 10 years old. A baggie of these cigarettes might cost less than the price of a movie ticket.
Okay, so you, Michelle, you were a law enforcement officer in Quebec. Gary, you yourself with the Toronto Metropolitan Police Department, yes. And both Quebec and Ontario seen teen smoking rates move in the wrong direction, it sounds like.
Well, the smoking rates in Ontario were going down due to the efforts of the government, and the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health in Toronto did a study a few years ago, indicated that while teen smoking rates were on the decline, they're no longer on the decline. They're starting to creep back up again, and that a lot of those young people that are smoking are now smoking contraband, and if they're smoking contraband, they're smoking more of it. So there's a generation of smokers being, starting up again.
And we must understand also that the convenience store, the groceries, all those people which make honest work, they pay their income tax, they pay their employees, they pay the wheelchair, they pay all this, but the contraband don't do it.
Well, they can't compete with the criminals, and quite often some convenience stores in Ontario and Quebec have closed down. Plus, every Canadian taxpayer is losing, because there's been an estimate that $2.1 billion a year is lost across Canada at all levels of government due to the sale of contraband
So whether
cigarettes.
you're a smoker or not, it's costing you as a Canadian here. I guarantee you, as soon as you say that youth smoking rates are up, you're going to catch the attention of parents who want the best for their kids. What do people know? I mean, how do you know if your child's going to be exposed to this potential sale of contraband cigarettes or not? Where are people finding these?
Well, that's where. Well, we did a study a few years ago in Ontario where a company actually picked up the cigarette butts around the local high schools in southern Ontario. And 35 to 40% were contraband cigarettes. So keep an eye out on your young people. But this is exactly why we're doing this, to raise public awareness, so that parents who are maybe blissfully unaware that their children are smoking may have an idea that they can now get this, and urge their governments to take action.
So these are like falling off the back of a truck, or they're being sold on schoolyards. I mean, it's literally that. I mean, it sounds like out of a movie, but that's kind of what's happening.
I mean, it's not only in a big city; it's also in small town, in Quebec also.
Yeah, there's a criminal distribution network that starts from the manufacturing, the distributors. This is just like a drug ring, and then to the small distributors at the end, the street salespeople and whatnot.
Well, it certainly paints a picture when you talk about lost tax revenue of $2.1 billion. You know that'll catch the attention of Canadians. You can learn more about what they're doing at the National Coalition Against Contraband Tobacco by checking out their website. We've linked to it on ours under the Inside BT link at breakfasttelevision.ca. News, traffic, weather up next with Courtney and the team. You're watching BT right here on City.